Okay, so for this taper, I'm going to have to taper it to a sharp point. So I'm going to be tapering it to a ribbon and then hammering it on that angle to flatten it out and make it a point. It doesn't need to be a sharp point, just needs to be a pointy point. Smack and steel, baby. Smack and steel. Smaller hammer, just going to do what I did in the last video, cleaning up that taper, and then again, because it's really soft, white glue from the hammer, and then we're going to taper it to a point while we're at it. And now we taper it. Now this is going to be the tricky part. I don't know what to do next. So I'm thinking, if I put a cut in and a cut in, and then literally like leave a good 5 mil on the bottom and then just fold it back on itself. That should work, right? Still got a mark on the bottom there, going to heat it. So there's our point, probably about there. Going to bend it over. Not cooperating, that's alright. Teaches us patience. Patience is a virtue, for sake. Yeah, it definitely would have been a good idea to take some material away first. But I have a plan, Arthur. I don't know if it's going to work, but I have a plan. But instead of just trying to brute force it, I'm going to put it on a corner and wail on it, flatten it out. It's working. My plan is working. Good. It's working. It's almost like a cutting edge, that part there. It's good. I can smell the paint burning, you know. It's not, I don't know why they painted an anvil if it's going to have hot steel on it, but they did, and it was cheap, so wouldn't believe it. But the dogs are actually asleep. I don't know how they sleep. That come through, which means it's getting pretty close to the edge. So if I do this, that is much easier. That is so much easier. That is ridiculously easier. God, my plan actually worked. Honestly, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that worked. Yeah, so clearly cutting out the material, flattening it out, whatever, taking material away or compressing it would have been a good idea. But if you don't do things the hard way, you'll never know. The camera angle is going to change, but we've just got to show this. Look at that. Look at that, fast asleep. I don't know how dogs do it, so I want to get it pretty much white before I start smacking it. Because there is going to be a little bit of forge welding involved here, I think. I think that's how it works. Like I said, a lot of what I'm doing is around finding out that looks good to me. Hammer down on that edge now. Try and keep it mostly straight. That's a lot of scale coming down. I'm locked. It could break apart. This could all go horribly wrong, but I always have the option to weld it back on later, so It's coming out. I knew that was going to happen. Right, well, I guess we're just making a pointy fire poker then. I'll take it as another opportunity to practice my ribbon tapering. Going to the bending those the bit. So we're going to make a nice little hook and then put a bit of a flat spot on the top, and that's where I'll weld the sort of spiky bit. So you can see we've got a nice little ribbon taper there. Taper that down again to a point. That's it. do it. Alright, now we want to put a flat spot in it. I think the best way to do that is here up here. That's good enough for hooking things, right? It's a fire perky hook, I think. Don't call it a hooker. Now I've got a flat spot to normally weld something on it. So now we've got that part, and I'm going to weld a little pointy bit on that, and then show you the end product, because that's not that difficult to do. Oh, but first we're forgetting something, aren't we? A nice long twist along the metal, because I like twisted metal. So we're going to do that. Gear up. Get ready for that. I forgot to record the start of this. That's a good twist. So one little twist on one side, we're going to do the opposite on the other side. So I'm going to go quench this and then do the opposite. Cool. It's not really that hot, it's more just so I can handle one side. Don't stand in front of your forge like I just did. That was silly. If you're going to do that, turn it off. All I'm saying is, I deal with a lot of heat as part of my normal job. So I'm a bit more used to it, but even for me that was a bit hot, and I could feel the sweat on my clothes drying out, so don't do that. We don't want to have to fly, that's the last thing we need. Cool. Alright, so as you can see, we've got, hold on, see if we can get the angle on this right. We've got a relatively straight. There's a couple imperfections. Look, it's not perfect. Most of what I make rarely is, but it's functional. It'll do the trick. So that's just for hooking your bits of wood, and we'll probably go give it a test afterwards. I don't have a fire pit, but I do have wood in my yard, I should clarify. But now this end's still quite hot, but we're going to chuck this end in the forge and put that twist that's going to meet right in the middle. Alright, so we've got our nice hot steel, pop her in the vise, right about there, and one full twist is what we're going for. So I can't grab too much of this because it's very now one full twist. I love twisting metal. It looks so good. It looks so good. See, if you make something pretty, people, and you can see it's only mild steel, it's still bars. That's all, I need to sort something out with like similar to that teeth for this one. But if you make something pretty, people are less likely to see the imperfections. So straighten, quench. I have finished welding the point onto this, as you can see there. That was the part that fell off before. I completely forgot to film me welding that, but basically, I'll just talk you through it. I'm not the best welder, as you can see here. I'll just show you. It's literally just welded straight on, got a lot of cleaning up to do on it, and then I'm going to put a finish on it. But I pretty much just cut it flat, put a nice bevel in it, and then just whacked it on top, welded it in place, and then just chucked it in the forge just because it was pointing that way with the flat spot, so it just made it come back that way. But now it kind of looks like those German officers, not German, the Prussian officers' helmets from World War I, how they had the big pointy bit on their helmet. Perfectly functional, so say this is your bit of timber, I can hook it and pull it towards me, or I can push it away. And the best part about having a spiked bit, I don't have any timber in the shaft, yes I do. So I always function test everything I make before it gets all finished up in case there needs to be any more work done to it. Now this isn't the sharpest point in the world, which is good because my brother has 2 young daughters, so probably not a good idea to have sharp bits around young children. But you can, with enough force, but I'm smiling because I honestly thought that wasn't going to work. You put it into a bit of timber, and as you can see, it doesn't leave much of a hole. It leaves enough of a hole, but it will pick stuff up. And I have found with the other 2 that I made, if I made the point super sharp and round, didn't seem to work as well, but you flatten bits like that, and just to a gentle point, they seem to work really well because they get right in between the grain of the timber and they can pick timber up real well. So I'm quite happy that works. But this part's not pointy, that's just so you can hook over burning logs and stuff. But you can, instead of bending down, because I've got a terrible back, you can stab it, pick it up, and I have picked up about 10 kilo logs with the ones I've made before. Not sure about this one, don't have any 10 kilo logs sitting here, but enough talking about it. I'm very verbose. I could go on about how I'm verbose and talk about it for ages, but then again, I'm verbose and I'll be here for a long time. So essentially, we tried out that scroll, we tried out the folding over method, and you saw that that did not work. But in the end, it all came together. So now it just needs a bit of a grind, a bit of a file, a bit of a brush, and then I'm just going to put a beeswax finish on it. Now there may be the question how I do beeswax finishes. I'll be right back. I got my chunk of beeswax, plenty more where that came from, and that look bent to you. All I do is I just heat it up to the point where if I touch the wax on it, it smokes, and I just run the wax along there, especially with the little nooks and crannies like in there. I chuck a lot of wax in there and I just move it around, let the wax work its way in there, because this stuff becomes very liquid when you heat it up. I'm going on again, see, verbose. Anyway, so that's the fire poker. I'm not going, this is already long enough, so I'm not going to include me grinding it and putting a beeswax finish on something that I spend a little less time and mistakes on. Maybe I'll do that, but thank you for sticking around and watching me build this, and hopefully you enjoyed it. If not, I'm still gonna keep making them because, yeah, this is a video journal for me. So one day I will try that again and I will get it because I'll be smarter. I know that you can't just fold it over because it will just split. So now we know that. So if you have any advice for me, please feel free to drop it in the comments below. If there's anything you want to see me try, I'm always willing, especially with a new hobby that I've just picked up. I'm always willing to try new things, branch out, see what's out there, have fun, do everything really. So yeah, that's the end of part 2, and that's the end of the making the fire maker for my brother. I'll see you in the next one. And I think the next one's probably, we've got a whole list of things that we've got to make in it. We've got a twisting tool, a hammer punch, a hammer drift, 2 sizes, because I've got 2 different size hammers I'm working on this little cross. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.